Hello, dear guest. Today the story is of an elderly man who lived a life of shadow, and, from his younger years, a assassin. He and the daily killed for money. He faced many, assassinating them with ease with only his bare fists, learning a martial arts that was quick and powerful, but, of course, he was also a master of many bladed weapons, cutting many down without mercy, acquiring money from the organization he worked for, being the top assassin that many would hire, until one day he was given a job to eliminate a target who was a mob boss's wife, who was pregnant at the time, as the mob boss believed that she was a spy and denied the child was his. So he agreed payment to get rid of her and the unborn child within a couple of weeks. So the young assassin agreed to take the job, and for the weeks he watched his target whenever she left home. But he realized that she was just living her life happily, not having any secret agenda of sabotage to her husband, who was mostly absent from the home that they were living in. The assassin then had the idea to see to the husband's actions, and, for what he witnessed, made him realize his thoughts were correct, and the mob boss was simply with another woman, and wanted his wife gone in order to be with this other dame. So, with knowing the reasons to why the mob boss wanted his wife and unborn child gone, he chose the honorable choice. As for when the week was up, the mob boss was coming to confirm the news. The young assassin denied, wishing to continue on with his contract, as it was a horrid, disgraceful, and dishonorable choice that the mob boss made, which also angered him, having him say that the assassin would regret his choice. Having this mob boss storming off, with the young assassin thinking to himself and decided to watch over the wife from any other attackers. And for a time, the assassin himself kept his promise of guarding the wife from other thugs or men who wanted to kill her, while still doing his normal work eventually. But the day that came, the wife had returned home with a baby girl. As the assassin's watchful eyes saw, he was very happy to see the wife be with her child. After many months, being on her own through this, with time to pass, the wife was just happily being with her baby when men who were hired by the mob boss finally went to grant his wish to assassinate the wife. And for when the young assassin made it to the location, he did everything possible to save the wife and baby, killing all the assassins he could. Before he got to the wife and child, he was too late for the wife, but not too late for the baby. With the wife, who did everything she could to shield the baby from her attackers, the assassin finished off the rest of the assassins, going to the baby, holding her as she was crying, and he simply went and calmed her down, but feeling heavy pain as he couldn't protect the little one's mother. The young assassin realized the men that were hired were from the same assassin department he worked for years. But the assassin angered. He took the baby to a safe place that was his hideout, Not even the department never knew of this place. He then armed himself to the teeth, making his way to the department to find the mob boss and the head of the organization. The assassin went about with grand skill, assassinated and slaughtered all who got in his way, until he made it to the office of the head assassin. He then, with bloodlust in his eyes, fought the head while also killing the mob boss mid-fight. And as this happened, the mob boss's second in command ran away, having the young assassin continue on his confrontation with the head assassin. With a bit of time, he ended the life of the so-called head, leaving his body on the floor to go on the organization's archives to erase and burn the details of the young assassin's existence and the contract the head agreed with the mob boss. Soon the young assassin left the building to return to the hideout, and vowing to care for the baby, watching as she grew, teaching her everything she needed to know and learn to survive. And with them living happily, with time escalating on, the assassin, who grew older, with gray hair, came back home to the young woman he cared for years, smiling happily. As he did, suddenly, gunshots were heard. It was a young mob boss who announced of how he and his boys were there to kill the old man for ending his father's life. After getting info from other sources of the old man's secret hideout, having the old assassin tell the young woman to escape through the secret passage, as the young woman being persistent to not leave, but the old assassin himself forced her out through the passage and told her to promise to live on for him and her mother, and telling her how much he loved her as a daughter. Closing the secret door, seeing the young woman's tears, as the old assassin sighed, walking out with his hidden cane but a sword, listening to the young mob boss and saying of how he talked so much like his dad, charging in, drawing his sword, killing all in his way, till eventually being gunned down as rain began to pour upon the old man, who laid on his back, looking to the gray sky and closed his eyes, and happy to always be able to protect those he cared for. So, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that tale, as I remember him telling me this, and truly sad to hear every time. And I hope to see you again, and always keep that smile on your face.